flute professor at the Schwab School of Music, but in the past 6 or 7 years I've been really interested in something called body mapping, which I've incorporated into my curriculum for my flute students, but also as a curricular option for all of the students at the school.
And it's something you can teach. There are a lot of mental health issues, not just on this campus, but nationwide. But we have a chance and a venue to talk about those. We have a chance to be able to talk about things as they happen. There are things that impact the students on a weekly basis, and we're able to speak about those right after they happen. So it's both timely, it's an intervention too. Knowledge and information is a form of therapy.
I've actually been working on mulberry, the genus mulberry, for quite a while, like I said, since my PhD, almost since 1998 actually. And right now we are involved in a sort of a North American-wide survey of looking at genetic differences throughout the range of red mulberry, as well as genetic differences between red and white mulberry. And that has taken us to work on mulberry in Bermuda. We're doing it down here in Georgia at the southern part of the mulberry range, and continuing our efforts up in Canada.
A little bit about co-authorship one last time before we move into the digital age. I just want to mention a couple of really famous co-authors, John Lennon and Paul McCartney. And most of the Beatles' work was either written by Lennon McCartney, occasionally by George Harrison. There was, toward the end, a pretty good bit of work by George Harrison, but mostly the work was by Lennon McCartney. And there was an assumption that John and Paul sat in a room over a pint and wrote all these songs sitting in a room together with two guitars.
Today in Inside the Professor's Study, I talk with Dr. Cindy Tickner. Cindy's a West Coast native. She grew up in Modesto, California, and came to Columbus via Fort Benning in the 1990s. Tell me what one of your favorite math concepts to teach might be.
One of the things we've been doing a lot lately is in the classes I teach face-to-face, I've been referring the students to the studio to watch videos that have been made, watch shows that have been produced, so they can have examples of some of the things I'm talking about in a lecture. They can see some real examples, and they can listen to other people who are experts in the field talk about things.
New media, the internet, and the availability of this great video production facility have given faculty a tool to communicate with the broader world, but also with each other. That kind of communication across discipline lines will naturally, organically create an environment in which collaborations can take place. And these collaborations among faculty across different disciplines are so very important, but it's so hard to know what other faculty members across campus are doing. This gives us the perfect opportunity to use this fantastic video production facility, make very high quality videos documenting our research or documenting our work with students, and allow faculty members in other disciplines to view that and to get an idea, to brainstorm, as it were, on how to collaborate with faculty across disciplines. I think that's just extremely vital.
And you covered a lot of civil rights issues with the paper?
I mainly covered civil rights in the 1960s for the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. That was my chosen beat. Although many other people covered civil rights too at the paper, so I was just one of a number. But when I got to Columbus, I was determined to try to get as much racial material in the paper as I could. In fact, that's one reason I came here. Belonged to that camp, that states' rights or white citizens council crowd. And they really were racist, and they were racist to the core. And they meant to stop it. Marvin Griffin, unfortunately, a very intelligent man, was a governor in there, and he also followed suit. I've always regarded him as a tragic figure because everybody knew he was smart. But it was a mixture always of good people, black and white, decent people, and of people who seemed to have come from almost from a different world, who could not be approached on the basis of, well, this is the best thing for all the people, or God forbid, the notion that all men are created equal, or any of that stuff. They were just hard-boiled racist.
Yeah.
And they killed people here. They killed black people here.
Yeah.